In a world where one woman tries to start a podcast,
how will I ever do this on my own?
She thought she would have to get expensive equipment.
What? I can do all of this on a free app?
She thought she would have to find creation tools all over the internet.
You mean it can all be contained in an app on my phone and computer?
She thought she would have to do all her own distribution.
You mean to tell me this app is going to send it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all those other platforms for me?
She thought she would never make any money.
I don't have to wait for a minimum listenership to monetize?
She thought that she would have to find all kinds of different equipment and pieces.
But I'm going to download this free Anchor app and get started today.
Visit Anchor.fm and download the free Anchor app to be just like her, the ultimate podcaster.
Hello and welcome to the Lou Review. This is Rosa and I'm here with Cheryl Farr. She is the CEO of Lodgic Every Day in Louisville, Kentucky. And yes, this is relevant to the Lou Review because this is an experience for people in Louisville. It has a couple other locations, which you'll probably mention, but they do everything they can to be rooted and grounded in the community of Louisville. So this Lodgic Every Day as a whole opened in April of this year, 2021. And so, Cheryl, are you from Louisville? How did you get involved with this?
Hey, Rosa, thank you for having me on your podcast. No, I'm actually not originally from Louisville. I'm actually from New Jersey and from Denver, Colorado. But I am now officially a Louisville resident. I'm just moving into my own house here in Louisville today actually.
Congratulations.
So, I'm really excited. I love Louisville. I think it's an awesome town, and I'm excited to be officially a Louisvillian.
Yes, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you love it. I'm loving it more every day. I've been here 10 years and just started learning about all of the cool things we have here in the last year. So, and then you just joined us. So what is Lodgic Every Day? It seems like it's more than just one thing.
Yes, it is. Lodgic Everyday Community is brings together multiple businesses. In Louisville's case, 5 businesses. It is a hospitality-forward co-working space, and I'll explain what co-working is for people who might not know. It is we have a child care center, Lodgic Kids Camp. We have a full-service restaurant called Everyday Kitchen, a cafe called Clever Moose Cafe, and also Lodgic Events, which hosts events throughout multiple spaces here in the facility as well. Yeah. So 5 businesses, all designed to really compete in their own category, be best in class. So our restaurant competes with all of the other wonderful restaurants here in Louisville, which is an awesome food town, which is one of the reasons I love it.
Yeah.
Our child care center is a licensed child care center for 12 months to 12 years, compete with other child care centers. Every line of business is optimized to perform at its best in its category, but by bringing them together, we create opportunities for people to use different lines of business together or independently, and in any way that makes their life easier. And then switch it up tomorrow. So if they want a place to work and would love somebody to bring coffee and lunch right to their desk, or to host a meeting without having to worry about how the tech's working or when lunch is going to show up or anything like that, we've got their back. Or whether they need childcare while they're hosting an event, or if they just want they want to transition right from work to a great meal, we can take care of it. However they want to use the services, and if it's just one thing, they just want to use childcare, they're welcome to do that, just want to eat in the restaurant. So it's really designed for ultimate flexibility for people to use how they see fit and to take away friction in life, so that they have what they need at hand on any given day. And when that changes tomorrow, because every day is different now, then we can meet those needs too.
Now these are a lot of different efforts with a lot of lofty goals, and this is not just something that you started. This is something with like a bigger grandfather, I want to say, a nonprofit that is becoming more relevant through the Lodgic Everyday community. Can you tell us about where the vision for the Lodgic Everyday community came from?
Sure. Lodgic Everyday Community is actually a wholly owned subsidiary of the not-for-profit Moose International. So people are often surprised to hear that. So the Loyal Order of the Moose, which is one of the oldest and largest fraternal orders, service organizations in the United States and in North America. They, about 6 years ago, the CEO came to me and a couple of other partners and said, membership in service organizations, traditional service organizations, not just the Moose, but all of their like organizations have been going down since the early 90s. Just not as relevant to new generations. They said, we want to do something new. Don't try to change the lodge structure. We still have more than 1 million members all around North America, but we want to do something new. So how can we be relevant again for another 100 years? And so...
Not just to keep the organization going, but because they have charitable works that they need to continue to financially support, right?
Yes.
For children and for seniors.
That's correct. All of Lodgic's, all of Moose International's efforts go, all their proceeds go into a place called Moose Heart Child City and School, which is about 40 miles west of Chicago. It's been there since 1913, has cared for and educated more than 12,000 children since then. It is a place where children who have every ability to succeed but may not have the family structure or stability can come, live there, live in family-style houses and be educated and learn life skills and all of that from infancy through high school. And then once they are graduated, they have the opportunity for a full 4-year ride to college, as long as they have a B average or better. And then as long as they have a C average or better, a 2-year ride to college. I think more than about 80% go to college. Some go into the military, but it's a really awesome place. All of Moose International, including Lodgic, has a full heart for Moose Heart and helping children who have all the ability to succeed but need that step up to really do that. And that's so that, and Moose also has Moose Haven in Orange Park, Florida, which is dedicated to helping seniors thrive. So if you're a Moose member for 15 years or more and you show up with $10 and an old Yugo, they'll say, great, you can live there cost-free for the rest of your life, from independent living to assisted living to end-of-life care. Wow. It's pretty fabulous, right on the water in Orange Park, Florida. You can also do a more traditional Del Webb style sort of, if you want to retire there, among other members of the Moose. So yes, so Moose is an organization that really cares about people from beginning through all of life. And so that's where all of Moose's proceeds have gone to. So we're looking to create, not to both be relevant with new generations and for another 100 years, but also to create new funding engines. Yeah. So we, in about a year's worth of work boiled down to about 10 seconds, we came back and we said, well, what Moose has always cared about, helping working people thrive, helping children grow into healthy, productive, happy citizens, and helping, being a positive impact in any community that you enter, that's still relevant. And not only that, but Moose, the Loyal Order of the Moose was founded in the late 19th century when people were at a sea change of moving from agricultural business into industrialization. And life was changing dramatically around this and became a place for working people to get together, break bread together, do good things in their community projects, and then help each other when they needed help. And so we were about 6 years ago, we said, well, we're in the midst of another sea change for working people.
And this was pre-COVID.
This was pre-COVID, right?
You saw the trend toward the virtual offices, and before everybody knew that they were going to need that.
That's exactly right. And so we saw this trend, people moving, were already moving in droves to on-demand employment, independent working, entrepreneurship, remote working. People were already moving there, of course, and then we didn't even know how dramatically they were going to move there, how quickly. So we said there's another sea change, and we saw it, and of course we did not invent co-working, but what we saw was as people were moving into, they had now flexible solutions for working, but not other flexible solutions for life as millennials went into parenthood,
Yes.
right? Or how do you actually create flexibility in multiple aspects of life?
Yeah, definitely.
And so we saw the opportunity to bring services together that created flexibility in all aspects of life. So our child care center is built on flexibility, fully licensed by the state, high quality early childhood education for 12 months to 12 years, where many parents, full-time solutions, but we can serve full-time, part-time, and drop-in. So,
and that can be so transformative for startup businesses who can't afford the overhead of an office, let alone full-time childcare, when maybe their business only gives them 2 or 3 days worth of work that they need childcare for.
Yes.
So that the ability for them to utilize this is a huge gift to the community.
Only pay for what you need, not having to pay for, well, you're locked in. You're locked in for paying for the full semester, or paying for the full week, even if you only need a day or two. So it's meant to be a flexible service model while delivering a really high quality of care and play-based learning. Really exciting. Same thing with co-working. Our co-working model, for those who may not be familiar with co-working, really it's shared workspace and shared services for independent professionals and small businesses.
Yeah, they have a printer they can use over here, and like the desk can be reserved for somebody, but it could be like an open space where they can collaborate with other people.
Yeah, so we have really 3 types of offers. We have offices, so with your own door and your own lock, and you can hang pictures on the wall and move around the furniture, whatever you want. Comes fully furnished, but people can, in some of our other locations, we have a therapist who's taken out all the furniture and put in sofas, and whatever people want to use that office for, it's their office home, but they don't have to worry about the internet, they don't have to worry about the printer, they don't have to make sure the coffee's on. In this day and age, they don't have to worry about sanitization because we've got a porter here all day who's taking care of that and cleaning services. Then we have, so in addition to private offices for individuals and teams, we have dedicated desks, so it may be in an open area, but it's your desk, your stuff, you can put your pictures out and all of that. We have what we call open co-working. So really our lowest point of entry for maybe somebody who doesn't want to commit to a full office or that kind of thing, but wants access to all the services, which just means you show up with your laptop and you take whatever space you need for the day or a couple of hours. That could be a private space, it could be in our open co-working space, it could be in a semi-private booth, whatever you need for the day at a desk. And even those folks who can come in at a low price point, $250 a month, $200 if you're associated with a university, either as staff, faculty, or students.
Wow.
You get access to the same benefits as those who have maybe a multiple person office membership. 24/7 access, free printing, all the coffee you can drink, all the snacks you can eat. The concierge who will greet your guests and make you feel at home and take care
Justin
of
is
you.
on top of things.
Yes.
Way to go, Justin, for keeping this place a well-oiled and watered machine.
Yes, if you need lunch brought to you but you don't have time to get up from your desk, he'll make sure you have it. So our goal is really around helping growing businesses and independent professionals focus on what they do best. We handle the rest. And when those of us who've been in entrepreneurial positions before know that sometimes taking care of all the details can be the make or break between being successful.
Yeah, so having to worry about paying all the utilities and the rent on top of everything else is a lot for a new startup business, especially. And what were you going to say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And offer flexibility, right?
Yes.
Because you don't lease here.
Mm-hmm.
You have a membership to the co-working space.
Mm-hmm.
You have a membership, and it's month to month. So even if you have a multiple person office or an open co-working space, you can stay for as long as you want.
Even if you have a multiple personality? I felt like that was what
Even if you have a multiple personality.
There's room for all of them here?
There's room for all of your personalities. But no matter what, flexibility is key. That's what we're really about. So say you come in as an open coworker and your business starts to grow and you need a private space, great. Say got a multiple person office and a lot of your team is working at home, so you don't need so much space and you need to scale down, great, we'll help you do that. Whatever you need, because in this day and age, even if you wanted to go out and you get your own permanent office, what we're finding is even established organizations love being here, because even if you want to get your own permanent office, you have to sign a lease for 4 or 5 years. That's might as well say 400 or 500 years. Nobody knows what their business is going to hold.
If we learned anything from COVID, it is that nothing is certain.
Nothing is certain.
And that's for sure. So when you come in this place, it is so beautiful, and I'd love to point out that you patronize so many local artists.
Yes.
And that is a huge, I don't know if it's even a feature, because that doesn't say enough about how much local art there is here. I feel like the whole building is like a local piece of art at this point, because the murals on the walls are done here by local craftspeople. And then we have Everyday Kitchen, which you and I took a night and did the Toast the Trees dinner there, and all of the produce and the food that they make in Everyday Kitchen is sourced locally from local farmers. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we're part of a nonprofit. Lodgic is a not-for-profit, so we look, act, and feel like a consumer brand, but all of our proceeds go to the things that we believe in, obviously to support Mooseheart and Moose Haven, but also to reinvest in the local community, which is any community in which we enter. So we do that in a few ways. One of the ways we do that is through our community artist program. So when you come visit Lodgic, you'll see all the art on the walls here is commissioned and curated from local area artists, both emerging and established artists. We do that. I love the community artist program because it allows us to give and really lift up creative entrepreneurs even before we open our doors. In addition, in our food and beverage operation, Everyday Kitchen, our prime restaurant, Clever Miss Cafe, our cafe, the vast majority of our sourcing is done locally from local farmers and local makers and local small businesses, because we really want to be able to support our local farm entrepreneurs and our local maker entrepreneurs here in the Louisville region and the whole Ohio River Valley region. And
that has turned out to be a blessing for you, hasn't it, with all the shipping delays from big companies across this country, since you were already planning to get your produce and food sourced locally. You didn't have to worry about it getting stuck in California or something.
No, well, we really believe, what we say is we're here to do a little good every day and to nourish the aspirations of working people, entrepreneurs, small businesses, and children, And that doesn't mean just inside our walls. It means reaching out into our community. And so we believe that supporting local farmers, local makers, and so on and so forth, and other who we would call purpose partners, that's actually good business, right? Because we're lifting up business.
It's reciprocal.
It's reciprocal, and with what's happening in the world and the supply chain right now, those who are often, what we find is the larger suppliers, we can't get what we need. We can't, it's not always the best quality, it doesn't show up. We don't have to worry about that when we're sourcing locally. Instead, we're building what we offer off of the bounty of the region and the season.
And building those relationships with people that you can see. And then, like, I came to the dinner at the Everyday Kitchen with one of the farmers who provided the okra for the dinner.
Yep.
So it was so great to see that come full circle, because, you know, he grew that and then he got to pass it on to you guys. And then you guys passed it back to him and showed him what his hard work had become, like a piece of gourmet art is what it ended up being.
Absolutely.
So to see that full circle was just so powerful to me.
And he had a whole bunch of okra, and chef said, we'll take it. Now we've got a whole bunch of pickled okra, so we've got fresh okra. We've got okra that we can serve throughout, even past okra season. So we feel like that this kind of sourcing and supporting small business and lifting small business up can be really good business from a sourcing standpoint, from a food cost standpoint, and from a reciprocity standpoint. So it's really exciting to be able to participate in the community in this way.
And then you feel like you're part of something bigger, and not just something bigger nationally, but something bigger that you can see on a daily basis.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm just so enthralled with all this right now. So Cheryl, thank you so much for telling us about it and taking time out of your busy day. And we're looking forward to seeing what's going to come next. So be watching for pictures. I'm sure I'll be back here at either the Clever Moose Cafe or Everyday Kitchen, or maybe an event in your nice event space.
Yes.
So that would be exciting.
We're starting to book up holiday parties. We can host business and social events from small meetings to 150, 175 people.
Right. So if you're looking for a big space so that you can spread out and still have a crowd, and that would be a good room.
Everything in between in our creative spaces, and all catered by our restaurant, Everyday Kitchen, which and they'll do special menus and that kind of thing. I think it's going to be an exciting holiday season. I think we're all ready to party a little, don't you think?
I think we're ready to live.
Safe and socially distanced, but still.
But let's enjoy life a little bit.
But I do encourage people to come visit us. You don't have to experience the whole enchilada. You can take it a bite at a time. Just come into Everyday Kitchen, which is really becoming known as one of the best new restaurants in Louisville, and that's no small thing. It's such a great food town like this. Stop in the cafe for coffee or lunch, or just if you want to pop in and see our art, we'll happily give you a tour, or pop in and learn a little bit more about Kids Camp, or inquire about an event. We'll love to, or just stop in because you're curious. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Cheryl, for your time. And we will see you in the next episode of the Louvre Review. Bye.